Hello, Facebook and YouTube. Today on How Hugh, I'm going to show you how I modified a pair of regular old work gloves to make them into Streetluge gloves. At least my version of Streetluge gloves. Show you how I glued some leather pads on the fingertips and put some rubberized coating on the tips of them. And I've used rubberized coating in the past for Streetluge gloves, and they definitely they add to the life. And on my regular work gloves, I've repaired them with leather, little pieces of leather on the fingertips when I had a little hole. So figured I'd try it in my preparation for Maryhill, which will be my first time on a luge in about 25 years. So let me show you how I made these. Went over to Tractor Supply, tried on the different gloves they had there. And I wanted something that was fairly thin, but that still had leather that I could work with. So I tried these Wells Lamont Hydra Hide. These were the ones that were the most comfortable for my hands. Does that show up on there? So what I want to do is I want to take some of this leather that I have, and this is some kind of hide. Forget if this was deer hide or elk hide, but it's fairly tough. You could use just about any kind of leather. I wouldn't use pig or goat though, because that's usually that stuff's kind of thin and not real strong. But I guess you could use Cordova if you wanted to, or nothing too thick and something flexible. So what I'm going to end up doing is cutting this strip into pads that can go on a finger, and then I'll glue them to that, and then that'll give a little bit of extra grip and a little bit of extra wear on these gloves. So that's the idea anyways. I've done it on work gloves to, like if you end up with a pair of gloves that's still pretty good, but it just gets a hole in the finger. I've patched that up with a strip of leather before to get a couple more hours of work out of them. If it's something that's not doing with electricity, because that'll go right through just about any tiny hole. So let's work on these. Show you how to do it. Pair of giant scissors. These are, I don't know, they might be 70 years old, but they're fabric scissors, and they cut leather really well. Now for this type of stuff, I like to use an actual leather glue. And the reason I do is because it's flexible. And some of the glues, now I've got this this contact cement. Contact cement says it's flexible. Got all my pieces cut for the fingers. I'm going to go ahead and use leather glue because I know leather glue works. Okay, the first one, we'll let that dry for a while and we'll see how it does. Okay, well, there's the second glove. The pads don't have to be perfect. And what I might do, what I've done on other gloves, is over the pad is put a couple little layers of shoe glue on it to give it a little bit of extra wear time. So we'll see about that. Okay, we'll come back to these and we'll take a look at them after a bit. Let them dry. Set a while to dry. That little piece could use a little bit more glue. Show up. That's the first coat of shoe glue on there. Probably going to do 1 or 2 more coats. Okay, there's coat number 2. I used this on gloves before, on my original Streetluge gloves. And shoe goo is actually really tough stuff once it dries. And at least the old formula was. I don't know if this new stuff is or not. I don't know if it's the same. It's been 20 years or longer. Alrighty.